Hi Matt. So let me explain what's going to happen. We're about to do a live recording, which sounds like an oxymoron, but what's going to happen is we're going to watch it together. And I'm going to see it for the first time. That's the live part. So what that might mean is that I might highlight or I might talk about things that you don't feel are fair as far as your normal game is concerned. But I can only do it on what I see. Now I'll be talking about two main areas: technical and tactical. Technical could be the swing, how you hold the racket, those kind of things. Tactical would be where you hit the ball, when you hit it there, and why you hit it there. Generally, the tactical ones bring the biggest improvement in the shortest space of time. You don't have to make any changes to your technical game, but suddenly you can start winning matches or more points against other players that you would normally have lost. However, in the long term, it's often the technical things that make a difference. So, with those things in mind, let's get started. All right. So I can see that you're in a fairly good position to serve. Immediately, I'm curious about your grip, but we'll come back to that. I think I'd like to see you stand a little bit further forward. So we're going to see what happens here, and we'll see what happens. So immediately, as soon as he hits the ball, you're moving to the side. You're very close to the wall, and there we go. We have uh, a typical thing to do with people's grips, especially on the backhand, and this is bending the wrist. Now, you bend the wrist and you're holding the racket the way you are because you feel that that gives you the most amount of ability in the back corner. But the thing that I need you to notice straight away, we're not even like 1 second in to the actual play, is that the side that you're going to make contact with on the racket face. So we talk about the racket face, that's the area where the strings are. The side that is going to hit the ball is facing downwards. Yes, Philip, but that's because I'm going to do this. No, that will not bring you benefits in the long term. Now, I've probably scared the hell out of you already, so we'll see. And you've done your best, and we'll. Right, so the first thing I want you to notice is how close you are to the wall. That means you've got no space. Look how far away your racket is from your body now. Now imagine that you were that far away from the sidewall. Any closer than a racket and an arm is too close most of the time. And that means that you're limited. You've got no space to work and you feel that you get in here and you're in trouble. All right. Now, you do your best to hit it straight. I'm not going to complain about that. I would have liked maybe a cross court in this case. All right. Now, here, your opponent is in a classical position, racket up, cocked wrist, a different grip from yours, and you keep moving forward. That is slightly dangerous. If you'd have got hit with the ball, yes, I would have said that that's your fault. You have to give him space. Now, I don't know how many times you get caught in awkward situations, all right, but that is a little bit dangerous. All right, well done for. All right, okay. Now, notice how you've sort of fallen over there. So we're going back here. Okay, he plays a nice little drop. You do well to get it, but in that situation, you should have been hitting it high. High because you are clearly under pressure. You are in a defensive situation. When you're in a defensive situation, hit it high, give yourself time. Right, now I want you to watch your footwork here. You're rushing, you've lost your balance, you've fallen over, you've taken a couple of little steps, and now the moment he's about to hit it, you're herring forward, and if he hits it anywhere else, it's behind you already. Notice that that racket face is already looking like it's going down, and the only thing you can do there is boast, and you're watching another one. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. So, first rally, and we've pretty much got everything we need to know. I know that sounds really silly, but everything is encapsulated in this rally. The first thing that you've reached a crossroads in your squash, Matt, and you don't want to hear this because you want me to just give you little tips to help you, but I'm sorry, but you've reached a crossroads. And this crossroads is You either carry on as you are and you won't get much better, or, and I'm okay with that, let's just be clear, I'm okay with that. If you want to be a recreational player and you just want to play and you want to have a bit of fun, find a few tricks, I'm totally fine with that. Or if you really want to improve, you're going to have to change your grip. And I can't do that in this kind of video. I've got some videos on grips. You really need to go and see a coach. By changing the way you hold the racket, it will change the way you move your wrist and it will change the way you swing. That is a huge limiting factor, irrespective of whether you hit the ball in the correct place every single time. It's going to limit your ability to do that effectively. The second thing, and there is some good news, the second thing is you're fast. But the problem is that you're not moving very efficiently. And you've got fast because you're not efficient. You're running around, and you mentioned that in your email, so I was a little bit aware about that, but you're running. And it's hard to explain sometimes. And what I want you to do is I want you to get to go onto YouTube and watch some professional players. And I want you to forget about the ball. I want you to forget about the points. I want you to forget about the swing. And I want you to watch their feet. And what you'll notice is that they do lots of side steps when the ball is behind them. And then they turn and they step. When the ball is in front of them, they take a couple of steps and then they hit the ball and then they run backwards. You're running forwards, hitting, turning, running forwards, hitting, turning, and running forwards. It needs to be more like a dance where you're stepping lightly and you get to the tee and then you're ready to reach any ball. All right, enough talk. Let's watch some more points. And we'll reinforce the points. Okay, so I could see immediately that that grip is just too far around the joint between your finger, your index finger, and your thumb is where we normally talk about where the grip should be. And it's too far to the right. It needs to be a little bit to the left. Now, it's too far to the right because the hand fits perfectly on the grip that way. And when you first start playing, you think that's great. It also feels as though you can get the ball out of the back corner easier because the racket faces up, but it doesn't work that way. Right. Here we go. Okay, so the shot there was hit too hard and it came into the middle. He's got you into the back. Well done for getting that. Yeah, okay, you surprise him with a little sort of flick, but I'm not really going to worry about that. Good, I like that you're serving backhand. You're hitting it too hard. So this backhand is, let's, okay, so here we go. See that side that you're hitting the ball? See how you're bending your wrist? This is limiting you. And look, it's all to do, it's like a cricket shot. Instead of this motion, is this motion. And you're not hitting the ball as hard as you could do. You're getting the ball more or less where you want it, but you're having to work much harder than you should. Same again, the side that is about to hit the ball is facing downwards. Great shot. Great shot. Now, an experienced player will start to move. Oh, look at that follow through. That is a little bit dangerous there, Matt. If somebody was close to you, you'd need to be much more aware about that. He hits it here. An experienced player will know immediately you're going to boast it. You've got nowhere else to go. And look at your positioning. You could be a racket length further away and still have space to swing. So you've run that little bit extra where you don't need to. And then he hits it straight down the wall. You're under pressure. Well done. Oh, no, not well done. Right. So another one where you're under pressure and ball goes below the tin. So from a tactical point of view, so far you've been generally making the right kind of choices, except when you're under pressure. When you're under pressure, you've been hitting it hard and low. And nobody wins points consistently from that. You might win one, it'll stick in your mind. Oh yeah, but I won one of those points, Philip. Yeah, but you forget about the 9 that you didn't win. You can't win it if you're not in it. And I'm talking about rallies. You can't win the rally if you're not in the rally. When you're under pressure, hit it high, hit it soft, give yourself time. All right. All right. I want you to watch your movement. So forget my ugly face, forget most of this squash court. Look at you. It's not a bad position. It's not a bad position, but now notice what you do. You literally spin. There, look, see how your left leg is coming around. You're pivoting on your right leg, and it jumps out the way, and you haven't transferred any weight into the ball. It's all gone in the twist, and you then it's not a bad shot, but it's a lot of wasted effort. And you get it into the corner. Good job. I often see this people who have reached a sort of a plateau as far as their technique is concerned, but they still seem to hit some pretty good shots. And it happens, and you're one of these really good examples. But you'd work a lot less with better technique, and you'd be able to have more consistent shots. So that's the crossroads here. You've got to make a decision. That looked like a fault. There should never be any serves that low. There are never any reasons. No, it wasn't a fault, but it was so close. And there you go, down the wall. Right, so he's putting you under pressure now. Oh, nice boast. Nice boast. Oh, it's not a bad serve. I like that. A bit short. Okay. Asking for a stroke there. Okay. Yeah. All right. I like the little hold at the front. I do. I like the hold. You sort of get here. That's tactically the right shot. Push him into the back corner. Lots of running, like 10,000 steps though. Gets here. Rack it up. Again, instead of that, it should be that. And I know it's hard for you to see here, but really, we've got to change that if you want to significantly improve. And then you wait. I really like that. And that causes him doubt and hesitation. And he gets there. And of course, you've fallen over. Now, it does happen. It even happens to the pros. But it happens to you because you're doing a lot of running. Nice stretch. Okay. Okay. All right. Quick question about your shoes. Are they squash shoes? I think they are, but still. So, if I were to be physically on court with you here, I'd be pushing you further forward. I'd be pushing you to see, you see where your hand is, like on the floor in the sense of where that hand, that's where I'd want to push you to. I want you further forward and a little bit further away from the wall to give yourself space. Now, one thing to notice is that a lot of his shots are deeper than yours. Your shots are really nice and quite tight, Matt. Honestly, they're really quite tight. But they're not deep enough, and they're not getting into the back, and you're getting stuck in the back. So while you might be choosing the right shot, if you can't get it where you want it, it's not working out so well. See how yours has hit below the line on the front walls is called the service line, and it's bounced in the service box, and you're behind him, and now you're level with him, and he's hit it. He's hit it a little, more or less the same height, but a little bit harder, and he's further forward, so it goes into the back. Oof, that was luck. I'm sorry to say. You might say, Philip, that's my best shot. Dude, I hit those all the time. You will, but not against much better players. Quick question. How often has he been behind you with you on the tee? Not that often. A couple of times. Good. Now that is a good example of a defensive situation, and Mr. Blue you play your boast, which is obvious from up here, but down there not so much. He's under pressure. He needs to give himself time. Nice racket preparation. just gives you up. And notice how you're not even looking at the ball at that point. You go down, and you must always be doing that. If you go forward and the ball's up, you've got to keep looking at there, because if it takes a funny bounce, by the time you pick it up, well done. See how he's always got you under pressure. Nice shot. Okay, you've tried to get it to the back, and I appreciate that you're trying, but it's not about power. It's about height and tightness to the wall. Like that. That's a good example. And there again, you hit and you turn and you run forward and you step, and then you get there, and then he's going to make you do a bit more work, and you're doing all the work now, and then you run out of luck. So I stand by my words at the beginning. You're not slow, not by any stretch of the imagination, but you're not efficient. And I think that if you could work on your footwork, you might really see a big improvement there. All right, but we'll talk about that in the summary at the end. That swing, Matt, is too wild. It's too big. I want to watch you again. So you're very close to the wall. You've got no space. Ball is touching the wall. Look at that. That's too big. It's too big a swing, and it's too big a swing because you're not using the major muscles. And the major muscles that hit the ball are actually your core and your shoulder, your upper shoulder. We might think that it squashes a wristy game, but it's not. It's a forearm game, but it's only part of the whole swing. You're too close to the ball, so you've really got to swing like that, and it's a little dangerous. And you can only go straight, cross court, sorry. You can only really hit cross court from those situations, because if you hit straight, imagine that you sort of hit the ball, bang, you hit the ball straight, where are you? Yes, okay. Um, I need to. Is there a screenshot facility here? Screenshot. Hopefully, let me see if I can do it on my. If I remember how to do it. All right, okay, I think I've done it. All right, that is excessive. And in this case, it's not dangerous, but I would be worried that if that were closer to the wall, closer to your opponent, that could be an issue. So what I was saying was that um, you couldn't hit it straight because the ball would just come back at you because you're there. And that happens quite a lot. And that's why I want to improve your footwork as well as your swing. Against better players, they'll know that you can't hit the ball straight very often from those situations. You do your best to get it. Okay, well done. You're still in the rally. And it goes out. Again, there's another time that you. There you go. Look, you're not even looking. You've fallen forward. And then you pick the ball up. And it goes out. So you won a rally, but more because your opponent made the mistake than you did anything really well. Probably hate me at this point, Matt. Sorry. All right. Now, I love that you serve backhand on the right hand side. Don't do it on the left hand side because you've lost sight of your opponent. You're making contact where you're further away from the tee. You want to make contact and just step forward. You never see this in professional squash. You never see it because it's really not a good thing to do. It doesn't give you any benefit. And that swing is woo. Yeah, and then you're under so much pressure. See, you are so fast, but not in a good way. Again, your shot hits in the service box. His shot hits behind it, and he's always, he's always in front of you. Literally, always in front of you. Good shot. All right, that's one time that you got him behind you. Oh, don't know what happened there. Oh, I think it's your camera. Don't really see what happened there. Oh gosh, I hope it's not like that. Oh, okay. Oh, that was a very close to the service box as well. Yeah, you're so close. Look how close you are to this wall. You can't go straight. You can't because he's just going to put his racket there and it's a stroke. So you have to boast, and in this case, it was a winner. But a little bit better player and able to see it. Another backhand from this side. And then he catches you. See, now his service return is very low. It's a very risky, but by what happens? Okay, it's the end of the previous one. Right. So I want you to watch where you are when he makes contact with the ball. Okay. So you hit, boom, boom. He hits it now. Oh, poop. Uh, all right. So there. One step away from where you should have been, but a wasted step as well. If you'd have just served forehand, step across, there, and then by the time you hit it, oh, what's happened? It's too late. I'm glad the green flashes have stopped. All right, go forward, step forward, step away from the wall. Okay. All right, good. It's one of the few times that you've got the ball behind you. He's got you in the back. Oh, well done. Well done. Right. So let's have a quick look at that. So he hits it. Right now, notice that your shot hit above the cut line, the service line, and it went to the back. Good. You're on the tee. You're very far across. If he wants to hit a cross court, he's going to catch you by surprise. He hits it. And question in my mind is why you didn't volley here. Why did you let it get to the back? Again, look at that wrist. And then you've missed it. And then you're not completely committed to that shot because literally once you finish swinging, there should never be a chance to get it on the second time. Okay. That's the end of the game. All right, Matt, probably not what you were expecting. You do some things well. You're fast. I've got a feeling that you're pretty fit, but you have to be. I got a feeling that you do hit some tight shots, but they're not deep enough. You've had some success with your boasts, but the better players will just read it. They'll read it like a book because they can see that you're so close. The positioning of your arm, positioning of your wrist, positioning of your racket will tell them. They'll be moving before you even hit it. The backhand swing is a little bit dangerous. I've seen nothing to suggest that you are dangerous. You haven't done it where your opponent is close to you. Okay. But when you're in the back, it's a huge swing. And however weight you are, let's just for argument's sake, you're 75 kilos, you're not transferring that 75 kilos into the ball. You're transferring it into the rotation. And we need to get it into there. All right. Your footwork needs improvement. Your gripping needs your grip needs improvement as well as the swing. So what do you do now? Well, I'll link a video that I want you to look at as far as your grip is concerned. I'll link a video about getting the ball out in the back corners because I go into detail. Can't do it in this type of situation, but I go into detail. By all means, look at other people on YouTube. Preferably get a coach. Find somebody in your area who can give you coaching. I will warn you now. Whatever level your game is at now, let's just give it a number, 100, it's going to go down to 70 before you get better. And it's going to go down because once you start to change the grip, it takes a while to do that. So that's what I was saying at the beginning. This is the crossroads. I'm not here to tell you have to do that. If you want to carry on as you are, okay, fine, no problem. If you do, then some of the things that I'd like you to do would be, one, stop serving backhand from the left-hand side. Two, make sure you hit the ball a bit higher to get the ball further into the back corner. Three, when you are returning serve, don't get so close to it. Give yourself a little bit more space. All right. And four, just remember to hit high when you're in a defensive situation. However, if you do want to improve, then watch the two videos that I'll link to and think about what I said about the movement. Watch some professional players on YouTube and look at their movement. It's hard for me to do that in this type of situation, but what you're doing is you're doing lots of side steps to get to the ball and then one big step to hit it and then you sidestep back, and sometimes you walk back to the tee. At the moment, you're turning, running, hitting, carrying so much momentum that you overrun, turn, run back to the middle, stop, waste all of your effort, and rinse and repeat. So a lot more efficiency could be had by improving your footwork. And we normally do that by ghosting. Ghosting is when you get on the court and you practice your footwork. But if you're not sure what you're practicing, getting on court and doing it is not much help. That's why a coach will help you. So the two main areas, grip, wrist, and swing, which sound like a lot, and footwork. But tactically, generally, I'm pretty happy. I'm generally happy. The quality of your shots are generally quite good, but we can improve them with a lot less effort. Things that you would want to add to your game would be the ability to hit straight when the ball is tighter to the wall. At the moment, you're just boasting all of the time. The next thing would be to volley more, to stop your opponent getting into the back corner, getting the ball into the back corners. But you can't do that because at the moment you should be volleying, you're still herring towards the tee. Now, if after you've watched this, you want me to clarify some things, you want me to, explain something in more detail, or you just generally have some questions, just, post that email to me and I'll do my best to answer them. So in this particular case, you really got to make a decision. Do I want to carry on and make a few small changes and still have some fun? Or do I want to get worse before I really could get much better? But honestly, you've reached a point where without significant changes to your footwork and your swing grip, you won't get much better. I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad tidings there, Matt. And as always, do something every single day to improve your squash. See ya.